everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is James Bogo. So if you're new, just consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. I would really appreciate. So today I have a student e-learning portal which I have developed using PHP 8.1 and MySQL. So just hope that you like it. So I'm just going to demonstrate. So we're going to start. I'm going to come here and I'm going to start the server right there. So the server is started at this port. So we're going to go to that port. So coming to the browser here, then going to that port. So basically this is the login page. So here you're required to use your username and then your password here. But before even I log in here, we can be able to click here apply, and students can be able to apply using this page. And then for the admin, we'll be doing that later, so we'll see how it works. But for now, I'm just going to log in. There is a user that I had created with this username. And also again, you can be able to reset your password from here, and then you can also be able to do a student registration. So we'll also be doing that. So, but first of all, I'm going to log in using the credentials that are there. So that's my name and that's the password. So hitting on sign in. So basically this is the dashboard, as you can see from here. So we have the institution name there, and then we can be able to see that it's summarizing for us the students that we have, the lecturers that we have, the head of departments that we have again, and then we have the admin here. And then coming to here, we have this bar graph, whereby you can be able to see the graph is drawn, adjusting accordingly to the number of students, lecturers, HOD, and admin that we have. Again, we also have another bar chart showing the departments that we have, classes and courses. We have that clock there, and we can also be able to see the complaints here, and we can be able to see the messages, and also we can be able to see more there, whereby we can be able to see the institution details. So I'd like to start by going to settings here. So basically the layout that you see here, you can be able to change all these colors. Like you can see here in the top, we have yellow here, we have black here, and we have this color which we have success, we have warning, and we have success here. So these colors, we can be able to manipulate them to match what we really need, because different institutions have different colors. So if I come to system configuration, then I have these general settings here. So coming to here, so you can see here, like in the top navigation color, you can see it's saying that it should be this black. So we can see we have this one. So, and then we have vertical should be that color. That's why you see that. So we can try to edit this one. We can try to mess it up a bit. So I'd like to come here, whereby you can see we have the top nav bar. So you can see it's warning, meaning that this one is somehow yellow. So that's why you can see from here, this one is supposed to be yellow. So maybe we can change this one, and we say maybe this one we want it to be green. So remember this one was yellow, so it will change to green. And then maybe this one can remain to black. I will have it when it's black there. But we have these boxes. But first of all, maybe I can save for that one, so that we can see the changes are appearing for this one. So I'll just hit on save changes. So you can see that we have been able now to change this one. Now this one is green, it was yellow. So again, I can be able to edit something else. So I can decide to, if you go to the dashboard right there, you see we have these boxes, the 4 boxes which are here. So we can be able to change the colors. So you can note that the second one is green. So we can try to change the second one and maybe the last one, so that we can see the changes reflecting. So going to the system configurations, and then general settings there, and clicking on edit here. So right here we can be able to go downwards here, and then we can see we have said we changed the second one. So this one is somehow green, so we can make it to be I don't know, maybe we say right blue. Yeah, that could be nice. And the last one we can say maybe this one to be somehow red, and then we save. Okay, so going back there again, we see now this one is red and this one is have already changed. Something else is that we can be able to do that. We can be able to change this name here. So basically it's the configuration about the system. All the settings will be all the phone numbers and the school name, everything will be pulled from this configuration. So let me go back there. So if I click on edit here, so this one I can change the name here. Instead of this one I can say YouTube, and then you say e-learning. So we can call it that. So we have YouTube e-learning portal 2022, and then we can have a description like this one. So you can say we are the best, so something like that. And then we can also be able to change the email addresses like this one. You can see you can put 0 there, O, and then you can be able to save the changes there. So basically, if I go back to the dashboard, so clicking on that, you can see it's even changing from here. So YouTube e-learning portal. So something else that you can be able to change is this logo. You can see this logo. So again, if you go to the same settings where you are and clicking on general settings there, so you can click on edit, and then clicking on edit, you choose the file there, and then you can be able to go to home and click on desktop, and then we can choose a different logo like this one. Then I can be able to open that. Going downwards there, we can be able to save the changes. And you can see from here now we have the logo which is reflecting. So the logo is here, it's here, and also you can see it's there top in the title. So that's very nice. So something else that you can be able to do is that, and again, if you change this name, also it will change up to here. You can see it's changing downwards there. Something else that you can be able to do is that you can be able to update your profile. So currently you can see I have this my logo here as my profile. So if I click on that, and then I go on choose file, and then from here I can choose a person I have here. So then clicking on select and then updating that. So as you can see now my profile is updated from there, and then it's reflecting again here, and again you can see it it's here. Something else you can be able to do, you can be able to expand using that. So it's possible to do that. So something else, I'm going to start with the departments here. So departments, we can set the departments that we have from here. So I'm going to add some department. As you can see right now, we just have one department, which is, two departments. So we can delete one because it's like a duplicate. So deleting on this one, so that one is deleted. So maybe you can add another department. So maybe you can say we have mathematics. So assuming we have a department called mathematics, so that's how you can be able to add a department. And again, you can be able to edit. So you can be able to edit that. You can write something there, description. And again, you can also be able to delete. So clicking that, but I'm not going to delete. So currently we have two departments. Again, we can be able to search what you want there. So if we have something, it will be able to show. But currently what I've searched, it's not there. But you can be able to do that. It's possible. So after setting up departments, remember an institution should have several departments. So now maybe something else that we can check. We can have terms here. So I'll come to the staff and users later. So I'm just going to concentrate on these ones. So something else that you can be able to do is that you can be able to adjust terms. So currently I can see we have some duplicates here. So I have added area, so I can just delete some which you don't need. So deleting them. Okay. So we have term 1, term 2, and term 3. And again, you can also be able to edit. You can also be able to delete. You can be able to do all those things. So that is terms. And then we can have academic years. So currently we have two. We have 2022 and 2022. And again, we should edit this one so that maybe you can have 2023. So these are the academic years. So right there we have two. And then something else that we have is, I'm going to skip this one for now. I'll be coming back to that. So we can have courses here. So this is where we can be able to register all the courses that we have. So I'm just going to again delete this one. So currently we have one course called Information Communication Technology. So again, you can also be able to edit again here. And also we can be able also to delete from this button, clicking on that, but currently I'm not going to delete that again. And then we have units. Remember, a course can have several units. So there are these units which, however, I had created. Again, I created duplicates. I'm just going to remove this one again so that we can have, so deleting that. So deleting that again, clicking that. So few to go, we're just going to delete that. I'm going to delete that again. I think we are almost there. Another one. and then the rating on this one, I think we just need that. So we have like 6 units. The first one is programming with C, programming things C++, Python, Java, TypeScript, and React.js right there. So you can be able to register units which belongs to a particular course, and then we can be able to register students. These students belong to a class which does a particular course, and that course belongs to a particular department. So all this relationship, we'll be seeing it. So currently I want to focus on the students. How can we be able to register the student? So to register the students, I'm going to come to this tab and clicking on students here. So basically, as you can see from here, we have 0 students, so we can be able to import students. So clicking on import here, I can be able to download a sample file. So there is a file, my bad, it's like I changed that, but I have the files elsewhere, so I can be able to click on choose file, and then I have this, you can see it from here. So this is an Excel file, so maybe I can open it, but I don't have to open it. We can just import it, and then we'll see the students appearing. So clicking on this file and then selecting that. So I'm going to hit on this import data. As you can see from here, student data is imported. So we have already imported now 10 students, and you can see that the admission numbers are as follows, like this. So there is one that I would like to really edit because I will be dealing with it. So maybe like this one. Yeah, the email is correct. That's nice. So we're not going to edit anything. So going back to the students here, we can be able to do several things from here. The first thing that we can be able to do after registering these students is that we can be able to print a record of each particular student. Like maybe we can print for the first one, Roberto. So clicking on this button on print, we should be able to generate that PDF file. So I'm waiting for that to load so that we can see the file. Yeah, so you can see it from here. So we have these documents showing all the details of this particular student. So from the name, from the admission number, class, program that this particular student is taking. And the reason why this is blank is because this student have not been enrolled to any course. So that way you can be able to see that it's blank in some fields like these ones. Again, this one is meant to be the student photo, but currently we don't have the student photo appended to that record. So basically what we could do is that if you can see from here, it's displaying this logo if there's no image. So we can try to edit this one, and then we can be able to add a particular profile picture like this one, and then clicking on select there, and then we can maybe set this date of birth of this particular person. I'm just going to choose any date like that one, and then clicking on save changes. So you can see from there, student has been registered, or rather updated. So we have this one. So we're going to print this again. So clicking on print again. So you can see that we can be able now to display this image, and this image is for this particular student, all this information. So the same case applies to all the students which are listed here, from the first one to the last one. So what I want to do now is that I want to enroll this student in a particular class. So assuming these students are doing a particular course, so I'm just going to select the student that I want, and I can skip some like that, but I just want to select all of them like that. So we have selected all the 10 students, as you can see from now here from the total, and then I want to do a bulk action. So I'm just going to hit on this button like there. And then from here, these are the students which I want to assign a certain class. And you can see from there, we have 1 up to 10. So I'm going to select on the class that I want. So I want the first class, this one. And it's like we have a duplicate here. So remember, we can go back to classes and we can be able to delete that. So I don't want to have duplicate classes. So deleting on this one. So going back to the student where we were. So I'm going to hit again, select all the students which I want to enroll in that particular class, like that. And then I'm going to hit on this button. And then these are the students which I want to enroll in that class. So I'm going to select the class. So this is the class that we are talking about. So clicking on that particular class, which is in particular term, came in a particular term. So I'm going to hit on enroll students there. And like that, all these students now have been enrolled in this particular class, and the name of the class is BIT 2022 T1. So that class, and the course they are doing is information communication technology from here. So basically, this student can be able to register themselves at their end, and they can be able to log in, and they can be able to access different things. So what we are going to start by doing is that we are going to register the units which this particular class is taking. So clicking on the first one there, and then clicking on submit, and then we go to the next one. Maybe we can register the other units. So I'm going to register all the units, so the third one, so just registering. So I can go to the fourth one, Java. So registering that they are doing Java, and then they are doing TypeScript. So clicking on that again, and then lastly they are doing JS, React. So basically, remember, we have registered the students, and we have enrolled these students to a class, and that particular class is taking a particular course. So we want this student to be able to log in at their end. So I'm going to log out again here, and then coming in the login page here, for the student who they don't have an account yet, they have to click on this button here, student registration here. So hereby you're supposed to provide an admission number, so maybe you can try something random like that, and then if your admission number exists with us, you can be able to create your account. But for now, that one is not existing, so I have this one. Remember, if we check on the student that we have registered, we have one student who have this as the admission number. So I'm going to read that, and then I'm going to authenticate that. So as you can see now, it's saying that it's the last step, and we should append the password to the account. So you can see we have the admission number there, and then we have this particular email, and then we are supposed to put a password here. So I'm going to type a password here. So this password is for the students. So there you go. So basically what will happen now, because everyone maybe can try to guess an admission number for any student, and then you can be able to mess up the system. So basically there is two-factor authentication, whereby you have to confirm this email, and this is the email that you provided for registration. So you have to have the password of this email for you to be able to log into this particular account for this student. So this one is additional security that we just add there. So I'm just going to hit on sign in, and then we are going to authenticate the two-factor authentication, and then we'll see how it goes. So clicking on signing in again. So you can see right there it's loading, and the reason why it's loading is because it's sending an email, and the email that it's saying it's sending is for a certain code. As you can see from here, I'm going to say no, thank you. So as you can see from here, it's saying that kindly enter the code sent in your email address. So I'm going to go to this email address. So this is the email address which was registered. You can see DeepNet here. So if I come here and I try to refresh this one, so you can see we have this code. So YouTube e-learning portal. Remember, this is the name that we wrote. So if I take this code and then I come here and I paste it here like that, so this one will be authenticated because this one is correct. But I want to change it to be wrong, like it 40, and then we will resend again here. So I'm just going to try to authenticate that. So it's saying that you have entered the wrong code, and again this code normally expires, so you have to key in at a particular time. So basically what we're going to do now, again, we're going to reset it again. So clicking on that button and waiting for it to give the message that it have resent the code, and then we are going to wait it here in the email. So I'm in the email again. We can't see anything yet. And now we can see we have the image now. The message. So clicking on this, we can see now we have another code which is 3092. So copying that and then coming here, I can be able to paste like that. So 3092, and then I try to authenticate that. So right now we are logged in as a student. If you check here, we are logged in as a student. So from here, these are the things that the student can be able to see from her registration number, his or her registration number, the course, the class, the email, the assignment, which we'll be discussing later, examination results, which we'll be discussing next, library, comprehend, and she can be able to change the password, log out, and then she can be able to change the profile. And she can also be able to submit assignment, raise a complaint. So these are the things that we'll be discussing. But I would like first of all to go back to the admin. So I'll just go into logout. So remember, currently now we have one student who is registered and we can be able to access his or her account. So I'm going to log in as the admin right now. Now that we have the student who are registered in a particular class, and then we have a registered units which those particular students are supposed to take. Now we should give workload to the teachers or tutors so that they can go and teach, and then maybe they can be able to populate the marks, and then we can be able to export all those reports which are needed, and then the student at their end, they can be able to download for those open exams, and we can see that process, how it goes. So I'm going to assign a workload. Workload is basically like for a tutor or a lecturer, what you expected to teach. So we are going to assign a lecturer, all those things. Clicking on add here. So I want to assign a lecturer called rec. So there is a lecturer who I had registered using this name. If you go to staffs here, so you come here, you can see that we have a lecturer who has a name of that and username of reg. So this could be anything. If you want to add another staff, you just click on add staff, and then from here you can see that the default password will be set to user 0001, and then you have the full name, the username, the email, and then you can select the role. Maybe you want the super user, the head of department, the lecturers, and then you can also be able to select the department which this particular user resides. So that's how you register a user, a staff I mean. So if it's a super user, you choose there a HOD or a lecturer. So going back to workload where you are, so I want to assign workload for particular lecturer so that that lecturer can be able maybe to populate the marks after he have taught, or maybe given cut or exam, and then he can be able to key in those information, and then the system can be able to summarize everything for us. So we're going to use this rec as our demo, and then I'm just going to choose the year to be 2022, and then the term to be the first term, and then the unit, I'm just going to assign all the units to the same teacher. So but for now I'm going to start with that, programming with C, and then I'm going to select on the class there, and then I'm just going to hit on submit. So that's the first workload that we have for that particular lecturer. So I'm going to change here, and then I go to C++. So we have C++, so that tutor is also tutoring that. And then apart from C++, we have Python. So I'm going to choose Python there. Going back again here. Apart from Python, we can also select that this particular tutor is tutoring Java. Basically, I'm just registering everything for this particular lecturer. So we have TypeScript. And then Rustly, we have the Rust one with React.js right there, and then I hit submit. So basically this is the workload for this particular lecturer called rec. So I want us to log in as this particular lecturer at his end, and we see what he can be able to see. So I'm going to click on that, and then I'm going to sign out there. So I'm signed out there. So I'm going to go to type rec there. So remember, this is an account that I had created earlier. So you click on that, and then you just hit on sign in. So you can see this, we are logged in as a lecturer from up here, and these are the things the lecturer can be able to do. So basically these are the units which this particular lecturer have been assigned to teach this particular term or semester. So remember, at the end of the semester, the lecturer will be expected to populate the marks of these particular units for all students in the classes where he is teaching. So if I click on this one, if I want, maybe assuming that I have taught everything and I want to enter the marks, so if I click on this one, we are getting an error here, and the error we are getting is saying that kindly note that the exam portal for this particular academic period is closed. So remember, even if this was assigned by the admin, or it can also be assigned by the head of department, we need a way like to control when the lecturer should enter the marks and when the students should be able to view the marks. So the reason why you see that error is because that we have not set the time that we allow the lecturers maybe to make correction or populate the data. So we have to log in back as the admin, and we can be able to change that. So clicking on log out there, Then I'm going to come here and then I'm going to log in as the admin there. So writing James and clicking on sign in. So when I go down once here and I can go to examination here, we have this one written tutors marks deadline. So these are the deadlines that you give to the lecturers. They are expected to populate those marks at a particular period of time. So clicking on add there, and then selecting on the year that you want. So 2022, remember the current year we are right now, and then the term. So I choose the terms to be that. Term 1, remember that exam is for that term, so that's why I'm choosing that. And then the deadline, I can say, maybe I can choose today it's 13. So if I put 12, it will mean that the deadline has passed. So if I put 14, it will mean that they can be able to populate still. But let me try by 12. So if I try on that one, remember today it's 13. You can read from my machine up here. So I want to log out now and see if the lecturer can be able to populate at their end. So coming back here and then logging in as the lecturer there and then selecting that and then signing in. As you can see from here, if I click that right there, we are still getting another error, but this one is different. It's saying, kindly note that the deadline for entering marks or editing has passed. Remember, we have, it's like it was yesterday. That's why it's saying this. So the deadline passed yesterday, and that's why we cannot be able to edit this one. So I want to set the deadline to be in future so that we can be able to populate these marks. So we have to log out again, and then we have to log in as the admin. So coming back here, I'm going to write James there as the super user, and then clicking on signing in there. So going back here, I'm going to go to examination and then tutors marks deadline. So from here, we can be able to edit this one. So I'm going to check this one. Instead of it being in the past, I want it to be in future. Remember today is 13. So if I put 14 or 15 like that, so we can see that we still have some time. So we have 30 hours that we can populate the data. So this will mean that the tutors can be able to populate the marks. So let's do that in progress and see how it works. So if I go back, log in as the lecturer right here. So clicking on that and then clicking on signing in. When I come here, if I click the first one, I can be able to see now it's opening. So the student workspace is created and it's telling me that I have 30 hours to do this. And after this, I'll not be able to do this again. So these are the students who are in that particular class which I was assigned to teach. So basically we are going to populate some of these marks and then we are going now to see how we can be able to have the reports exported. So maybe to enter the marks for the first one, you just hit on enter marks there and then we can just write that maybe this one is 10 and this one is 14. Maybe I can just populate the first three. So right there, and then this one we can say this one is 40, maybe something like 20 for this particular student called Dave, and then this one is 50. Save changes right there. So we're just going to do the first three. So clicking that again, and then I say maybe this one is again is 20 and this one is 44. I'm just going to remove that 0, clicking on save. So that's the first unit, which is programming with the C there. So I'm going to go back. There. So remember that we were populating for the first one. So we go to the second one, which is programming with C++. So clicking on that. And then we can be able to populate again the first three. So I'm just going to put random numbers here, but for the cut should be 30 and the main exam should be 70 totaling to 100. So 10 and then we have 20. I'm just guessing numbers here. So clicking on that. So we have 11 and here we have 23. That's very poor. And then we have 3 there. So going back again. So that's the second unit, assuming that for the lecturer will have to populate everything, but for me demonstration purposes, I'm just populating 3. So we are in the other one. So this one is programming with Python. So again, I'm going to populate the first 3. So this one again, we can see it's 10, and this one also we can see it's 10, 10. So we're going to save that. We're going to edit this again. We have 10. Also, we can also have maybe you have 12 there, and this one is 23, and then you click on save. Then you have another one here. So this one you can see it's also 30, that was and this one is 50. Save the changes. So that's nice. That's programming with Python. So we go to the other one. So right now we are here programming with Java. So we want to enter marks for this student in this particular time. So if I click on enter marks here again, so I'll say that one is 20 and this one is 30. We save that. And then I come here again and just click on this one is 30 and this one is 40. And then I save again. I add another one. So this one I click on that. I say this one is 10 and this one is 40. I save there. So again we have those three. So this is programming with Java. So we are going to go again, going back there. We have two more to go to populate, assuming I was teaching all these units in this particular class. For our case is one class, but it can be different classes. So you have to populate all for all those classes. So we have TypeScript here. So clicking on that. So from here again, we can also be able to edit there. So we say this one is 10 and this one is 30, and then click on save changes. So again this one, so again this one, we can say this one is 30, this one is 60, save changes. Then we can again add this one, so we can say this one is 20 and this one is 60 again. We can be able to save the changes there. So lastly we have the last one, so which is programming with React.js. So clicking on that, and then we're just populating the first three. And then you have 10 and this one you have 30, and then you have changes. So assuming a lecturer have populated everything as expected, all the units that he was teaching, he have populated everything, every marks for every student in that particular class, he can be given a grace period to edit. Like for the example, if you come here, you can see we still have 30 hours. So if he made a mistake, he can be able to update these marks. He can come here and he can change the marks. Maybe this one now was supposed to be 54, like that, and then the data is updated. You can see we have 54 here. But after these hours have passed, the tutor cannot be able to update this one. So this one will be up to the admin. It's only the admin who can be able to do that. After that, this tutor can be able to download this data. If clicking on download the result for each and every unit, then you can see that this is the performance. We were just populating the first three, so that's why you see this one. So you can see even the name is reflecting here, e-library running portal, right there. So basically the tutor can be able to also to download all these marks after he have pre-filled all this for all the student, for all the subject that he's teaching. So we are going to log out this account as the teacher, and we are going to log in as the admin and see all the reports that we can be able to get from that examination reports. So I'm going to log in as James here. So clicking on James and hitting on signing in. So I'm going to come down once here, and then I'm going to go to examination, and then I'll go to all examination reports, as you can see from here. So from here, I'm going to, we have three types of reports that we can be able to export. The first one that we can be able to export is that we can be able to export for class performance report, and then the other one is student report. This one is specific student report. And then we can be able to export a particular unit of a specific class in a specific unit. So maybe you can start with the class performance report, which you can be able to export. So clicking on which year you want to export, and then you can select on the term, and then you can select on a particular class that you want. So this one will entail everyone who is in that class and all the units that were taught in that particular class. So I'm going to hit on export class here. So you can see here, this is the report that you're getting. So from here you can see the class is that, this is the course you have, this class was doing, this was term 1, and it was, which year was that, and then you have the information about the school here. Then from here you can also be able to see all the details about the units that were told. we have programming with C, we have the cut and add term. So the reason why you see we only have the first three being populated apart from the last one because we just populated the three. So like this one you have 10, 40, so the total is 50, 50, 20, total is 70, and so far and so forth. So a student can be able to check the admission number here and the name, and then he can be able to see the performance. So this one is basically the class report. So I'm going to go to the report and see how we can export it. So we can come here and select the year, and then we select on the term, and then we select on the admission number of a particular student. So in this case, we can try with that, and then I hit on export. So now this one will be specific to a particular student. So you can see from this one, so this particular this is what the student can be able to see at his end. We will be doing that. So you can see programming React cut, he had that, and then he had that, so it's totaling to that, and so far and so forth. The reason why you see everything is populated is because this is the first student that we had, and we just populated the first three, so his data was included in the first three columns, rows which we populated. So maybe you can try with another student. So this was the number which was variant. So apart from 1, maybe you can try something like 5, and we hit export there. Yeah, right there you can see like from number 5 we never populated everything. That's why you see it's 00. So after tutors have to populate, these numbers will still change, but you can see the information now is changing. Like this one is really okay. That's nice. That's very nice. So apart from a particular student report, we can also be able to export a class report of particular units. So selecting like year is 2022 and selecting a particular term, and then selecting a particular class and then a particular unit like C, and then we just click on export. So we can be able to export like that. You can see now these 1 unit, and the units is called programming with C, and total number of students who are there 10. And as you can see from here, we just populated the 3. That way you see the others are not populated and they are colored with these red zeros. Okay, so that's how you can be able to export the performance of a particular unit in a particular year, term, and class. So this information, the student needs to see the performance, his or her performance, and apart from him coming to us and to the admin, and the admin exports that to him or her, she can be able to do that at her end. So we are going to go there and see how the student can be able to see that. So logging out there. So I'm just going to log in as a student here. So clicking on that, remember we're using this admission number as the demo. So clicking on that, and then we click on sign in. So right now I'm logged in as the students. You can check up here. So basically what I want to do now, I want to go to examination results, and we see if we can be able to export the exam. So we have year and the term, and basically we won't be able to export the exam right now, and the reason for that is because we have not set this particular exam to be public for the student. So let me do that practically so that you can see it. So you can see we have an error message here. It's saying that kindly note that the exam for this particular academic period is not yet public. So we need admin have to set the time, or say that this particular exam is open, it's public, and the student can also be able to download it. So we're going to set that the dates where the examination was published, so that the students can be able to download that. So I'm going to log in back as the admin. So logging on that, clicking that, and then again clicking on sign in. So right now I'm logged in as the admin, as you can see from up here. So if I go downwards here, I go to examinations, and then I go to students open results. So clicking on that, you can see from here we don't have anything. So we have to add something so that the student can be able to download the examination result for a particular period that we have listed here. So clicking on add there, and then selecting year to be 2022, and then the term to be the first term maybe, and then selecting the deadline. So remember, if I choose 12, this will mean the date that was the examination was to be published was date 12, meaning it was yesterday. So if I put 12, it will mean that the student can be able to download. If I put 14, it's in the future, meaning that the examination is not yet released. So I'm going to choose the past, which is 12, meaning that the examination was released like yesterday, and that's why you see we have negative 42 hours. So the student now can be able to download the results. Maybe you can see that practically. So if I sign out there, and then I log in as the student, so selecting that, and then hitting on sign in. So currently I'm logged in as a student, as again you can see from up here. So when I come to examination results, and then I go to year, I select year to be 2022, and then I select term to be term 1, and then I export my transcript. So you can see it's possible now. I'm able to export this transcript. So remember, this is the transcript that we were also able to export as the admin. Maybe to demonstrate that, I can log in back as the admin. So let me try to log in as the admin. So I'm going to log out this one. So I've just opened another tab. So we have this one. So I have another tab here. So I want to just log in as the admin so that we can see if we are getting the same transcript. And then I'll go to examination results. So examination results. So coming here to all reports, and then I'm going to select the year. The year is 2022. And then I select the term is term 1, and then I'm going to select that particular student. So remember, if we go here, we can be able to see that the admission number of this student, actually it's not listed, but we can be able to see the name of this particular student is the first one. So this was supposed to be the admission number. It's not listed here, but I'll list that. So clicking on export there. So I'm waiting for that. So you can see this one. This is the same information that we have here. It's only that we don't have this information for this particular student, which I kind of forgot how to add them. I've forgotten how to add, not how to add, but actually I've forgotten to add. So I'll make sure that I add that. So it's the same transcript that we are getting right there. Okay, that's very nice. So I'm going to go back here. So I'm going to sign out here, and I'm going to sign in as a student again. So these are basically the things the student can be able to see. I would like to tackle this assignment now. How can we handle assignments? So remember, assignments can be set by their tutors. So we're going to log in as the tutor, and maybe we can set an assignment, and then we expect the student to do it, and then they can be able to submit, and the tutors maybe can be able to download the results, all the assignments from the students, and they can be able to mark, and then they can be able to populate back in the system. So basically, for this one, if I go to assignments right now, we see that we don't have any assignment for this particular class. So I want to log out, and then I'm going to log in as the lecturer. So remember, we had a lecturer called rec. So clicking on that and clicking on sign in. So currently I'm logged in as a lecturer. You can see it from up here. So if I come to assignments here, I can select that I want to add an assignment. And then when I come here, I can type an assignment. We can say that this one is mathematics. I like to keep it simple. So we have instruction, do all of them, and then we have the assignment. So the assignment is very hard math calculation. So we have that. So assuming you have something like that, so we have 2 plus 3. So assuming, but basically the assignment should be something at something sensible, not like this. I'm just demonstrating. So assuming the assignment is 2 plus 3, or it could be assignment that you can upload a file here, but currently I just want to maintain simplicity. So I'm going to select a class. So we have that class, and then I'm going to leave this one to be blank, and then we can set the submission deadline here. So selecting on when do I want this one to be submitted. Maybe I'll say by 19, and then I'm going to hit submit. So we have this assignment, which is 2 plus 3, that I've set for this particular class, and the class is BIT 2022 T1 1 test. So we're going to log out there, and then I'm going to log in as the student. So currently I'm logged in as a student, as you can see from up there. So if I go to the assignments, so here I can be able to see we have the assignments, and we have this deadline. It's saying it's 125 hours, and it was posted 26 hours ago, and instructions are there. And then tutor is this one is somehow interchanged. We have this one is supposed to be there and there, so but just don't mind. So but this one is the assignment. So we need now to submit something. So to submit the assignment, assuming that the assignment is this 1 2 plus 3, we need to click on this button. So let me just get a random text from the internet, so like that, and then I go, what's the meaning of HB? Okay, just don't want to know what's it's written. I'm just copying random text. So assuming now I want to submit the assignment, so I can click on this one, and then from here I can either choose a file or I can type something here, but for my case I'm going to paste something that we have copied from the internet. So I've pasted that, and then I'm going to hit on submit right there. So as you can see from here, this was our assignment 2 plus 3, assuming that this is the answer now. So in my case, the question can't be like this, but I'm just demonstrating that this now is the question and this is the answer now. So assuming that all the students who are in that particular class have submitted the assignments for this particular unit to this lecturer. So if I click on sign out here, I want to log in as the lecturer and see that can we be able to see all the submission from the students. Yeah, so right here I am logged in as the lecturer. So I'll come here to the assignment. So here at the assignment, remember there is this one assignment which we had set as the lecturer. So we have this one. I'm going to click on this assignment there, and we can see that we have one student who have attempted the assignment, and the name of that student is that, and the admission number is that, and then it was done 52 seconds ago. So assuming that all the students have done it, it will be listed here from the first student to the last student and indicating the time they submitted. So for the tutor, he can be able to download it from here, clicking on download there. So currently we just have one student who have submitted, so that's why you see the first student there, and then we can see now, assuming that this is the answer now to the question that we had. So basically that's how you can be able to set assignments, and the students can be able to do it, and the tutor can be able to download it, and he can be able to mark it, and again he can be able maybe to populate it. Maybe it was like the card, he can be able to populate it just the way that we did. So the other thing the student can be able to do is that they can be able to raise a complaint. So we're going to raise a complaint right now. So I'm just going to copy a random text here. So assuming this is a text, so I'm just going to copy that. I click on complaint here. Then I'm just going to paste something here. So pasting the complaint there, and then we're just going to hit send. So assuming that I have a complaint and this is my complaint, so I can be able to write this one to the admin, and the admin can be able to reply to me. So this is like a message that we have sent. So it's saying all those things, you can see from there. So let's try to log in as the admin and see that if we can be able to reply this particular person. So I'm going to hit on the here, and then I hit on sign out. And then from here, I'm going to log in as the admin. Remember, we had that username that we have been using. So logging in there. So right there. So currently I'm logged in now. So if I go to messages, I mean complaints. Complaint, I mean, sorry, not messages. So it should be complaints. So from here, we can be able to see that we have this complaint here, which is colored blue. So if it's colored blue, it means that it's not replied. We can read from here. We have complaint is 1, not replied is 1, and we have replied, which is 0. Again, if you had many, we can be able to search there. So basically, I'm going to click on this one. So currently, we can see that this is the message. Now we need to reply. So I will reply the same. I'm just going to paste a random text there, and then I'm just going to hit send. So assuming that this was the complaint, this one, and then the admin have replied this. So let's log in back as the student and see if the student can be able to see the reply. So clicking on that, and then I sign out, and then I'm going to log in back in here. I'm just going to log in as the student. So right now I'm logged in as a student. So if I go to the complaints here, okay, we just raised the complaint as the lecturer. That's why you don't see it here. So I'm going to log in as the lecturer. So also the lecturer can be able to raise the complaint. So we're going to go back there. So sign in. So coming back here, so going to the complaint. So then you can see now the reply, you can be able to see it. So we have this one. So that's how you can be able to converse using from maybe from the staff or from the student to the admin. The admin can also be able to reply. Also the head of departments can also be able to do the same thing. So for the student, that's how they can do the exam. They can also see the complaints. So the other thing the student can be able to access is the e-library. So currently the e-library that we have here, we have nothing here. So we need to add some resources so that student can be able to access them. Okay, so I'm going to click on sign out there, log out I mean, and then I'm going to log in as the admin right there. Sorry, that's not the admin, so I'm going to use the admin account, which is the one that we have been using. So clicking on that. So currently I'm logged in as the admin, and then I'm going to go to e-library here. So clicking on e-library right there. So I want to add several resources. Okay, so I can say mathematics, and then we can say we have a book that we want to add here. You can say we have John Bird, High Engineering Mathematics. It's a very good book. So clicking on choose file there, and then I'll go to desktop, and then I have the book somewhere. So desktop, and then selecting on this is the book I'm talking about, and then I select it, and then I save right there. So this is the resource that we have here. So currently the students can be able to read these files. They can be able to open at the end, but also you can also be able to open. So if I click on that, so you can see now the PDF now is embedded here. We can be able to see it. So higher engineering mathematics here. So the student can be able to scroll here, and they can be able to read it from here. They can also be able to download this PDF. It's possible for them, so it can also be able to print. So these are the resources which can be put in the e-library, and the students can be able to access. So we're going to log in as the student and see if the student can be able to see what we are seeing right now. So we're going to log out there, so clicking on sign out. Then I'm just going to log in as the student. So right there, and then clicking on signing in. So right now I'm logged in as a student, so I'll go to the e-library. Then I can see that we have mathematics, description, the book is Engineering Mathematics by John Bird. So I'm going to click on this file again. And again, the same things. We can see that we can be able to open the PDF like this, and then the student can be able to read it, and also they can be able to download it from here, and then they specify where they want to save it. Okay, so that's for the student. Those are the things the student can be able to do: e-library, complaint, assignment, examinations. The other thing the student can be able to do is change the password. So, but for you to change the password, you have to include to use the correct password, and again you have to use there are certain rules which I've set here. The password must be 9 characters. The new password and confirmation should be the same. The old password must be the one that is there for security purposes, and so far and so forth. So basically, something else that we could also be able to do as the admin is that we can be able to lock out students who maybe we don't want them to access the system. So if I log back in as the admin, so if I come here, and then I go to all students that we have. Remember, we are dealing with the first student, this one, remember one. So this student, we can be able to disable this particular student. And the way we do it, if you go to the users here, and again here, all users that we have will be listed here. And we can do several other things. We can be able to export PDF there. So you can see we have that PDF. It will show this particular person, this is student, this is admin HOD. and so on and so forth. So basically I want to search for that particular student. This is the student that we have been using. I can click on the this one is, you see, written confirmed. This is the, if the student, the two-factor authentication, the student have confirmed that this particular emails belongs to him or her. That's why you see yes, because we just confirmed that. But we can change that depending on the security breaches that we can change. So we can say maybe this one, I'm just going to click it back again, that like that. So right now you can see that this particular student is not confirmed. This will mean that the student will have to confirm the email the next time that the student will log in. Also, it's possible to set it up that it will have to confirm the email each and every time. So I'm going to come back here and then click on sign out. And then I'm going to log in as the student. Remember, the student won't be able to log in right now until the student have to provide the code which will be sent to his or her email. So I'll be opening that email right here. So I'm going to Gmail and then I'm going to choose that particular email. So going back there, selecting the email, and then going to the Gmail like there. So you can see from here the code have already been sent. So I'm opening the email and you can see we already have the code here. So clicking on that, it will be running portal, selecting on this code again. So this 6940. So coming back here, pasting it there, authenticating, and boom, we're back in. So that's how we can be able to control. If we want to really confirm the email another time, it's possible. We can also be able to do that. So that's great. So let's log back in as the admin. So if I log in back as the admin, that's James, yeah, that's true. Then I click on sign in. So from here, if I go to users again, I can also be able to disable a student. So remember right here, you can see we have access, it's written access. So active, this means that this particular user is active and he can be able to log in the system. So we are going to disable that and see what will happen. So this user is disabled from accessing the system. So this, remember, this is our student that we have. So I'm going to sign out there. And then I'm just going to log in as that particular student and see what will happen. So clicking on sign in. So it's saying that your account has a problem, kindly contact the admin. Remember, it's not saying that the password is wrong because the password that we have is correct for that particular student, but this student have been banned or disabled from using the system. That's why you see we have that message. So we're going to log in back as the admin. And currently now we are logged in as the admin. And now I want to go to the users and I want now to re-enable that particular user so that the user can be able to log in. So clicking on disabled and then it will change automatically to active. Now this particular student can be able to access the system. Maybe practically we can see that in progress. So coming back here, so we can go to that student, admissions number is that. So selecting that and then clicking on signing in. So basically you can see we are logged in as that particular student. So the other things that maybe I can demonstrate right here when I am in login. So maybe if you have forgotten our password, so I can click on forgot password there, and then I can just write my email. So deepnet. So you can say deepnet@gmail.com. Remember, this is the email for the student that we have been using. Then you can just request that password. So it's saying that the selected email is invalid. Okay, maybe I can use mine. I also have an account with mine. So we have, let's just use that. So we have that. We can confirm the reason why it's saying that. The reason for that is because we don't have a full stop there. And then we just click on request password reset. So I'm waiting for that. It's like loading. My internet is a little bit slow. So it's saying that you have emailed you a password reset ring. So if I go back here, you can see now we can be able to receive the password reset ring, and we can be able to follow this link, and we can be able to change the new password. So basically that's just by the way. So let's go back to the system. So going back to the system, and then I'm going to log in as the admin. Before even I log in, let's try to tackle this one. We can be able to apply if we are a new student who want to join the school. So like this one, so you can write your name. Maybe my name is that. and then that's my grade, and then the intake. I come from that county, my first name is that, my phone number is that one, my gender is that, the course I want is that, and then other names could be that. I'm just typing random things so that like that, and then like that, and then I say like that. Then I select the date of birth, and then this one you can say that, the parent, relationship, and then we can have phone numbers, like something like that. Again, here we have something called M-Pesa, which have not implemented fully. So here we can just connect an SDK push, whereby we just have to pay this particular amount on a push, and then we can also be able to confirm that using the Safaricom API. But currently I didn't implement that, so it's just manual, whereby you can have a pay bill number, and then from there you just pay this one, and then you write the M-Pesa code here, which is very manual and very boring. So this varies from client to client. So some clients can say maybe we just want it like that, or maybe you can adjust. It's possible to do that. So I'm just going to guess a code here, so it's something that resembles something like that, and then I'm going to hit and submit. Okay, so it's saying, hi, your application has been submitted, we'll get back to you. So this application has been submitted, and the admin can be able to see it. So let's see what the admin can be able to see. So I'm going to log in here. So I'm just going to come here, log in as the admin. So right now I'm logged in as the admin. So I can come here to the applications. So from here you can see we have one application of this particular person, everything, the details. Again, we can be able to print this particular information. So this is a person who have applied, and this is the application number, which is 001. So that's, you can also be able to do that. So basically, so let me check what we have not covered. We have covered departments, system users, the staffs, we also students, terms, academic years, workload, courses, unit, classes. Yeah, classes, you can add classes. So maybe something that we have not covered is the M-Pesa here, M-Pesa messages right there. So we can be able to compose a message here. So if I want to send this message to student, so I just select on student, but then I can paste my message there. My message is like numbers, so let's get some random text. Okay, so here I am. So I'm just going to copy that. So I'm going to paste that several times, and then I'm going to submit that. So this particular message has been sent to all students. So if you wanted to send to lecturers, we could just select the lecturers. So we can log in as the student and see what the student is seeing. So coming here, so I'm going to say that I'm going to log in as the student that we were using earlier. So logging in there. So right here, if I come to messages here, you can see we have one, and this is the message that we have. So this is the message that was posted 20 seconds ago. So the admin can be able to communicate to the students, to the HOD, and also to the lecturers. So I'm going to log out there, and then I'm going to log in back in as the admin. And then we were there, workload, courses, unit, classes, messages, email, examination, assignment, e-library, application complaint, system configuration, and then we have change password. So basically it's like we have covered everything. But if you go to the staffs here, remember you can also be able to register a head of department. Like currently we had one head of department. You can see from here it's written HOD. So also this HOD have different rights, and I can be able to perform several other things. So if I just going to sign out there, and then we can try to log in as the HOD right there. So if I click on sign in there, okay, sorry, the authentication credential is not correct, so I think I changed the password. So maybe I can type another one which I think is the correct one. Yeah, and that's the correct one. So right, currently I'm logged in as the HOD, and as opposed to the tutors, the HOD can be able to assign workloads for their departments. So like if you see this one is the head of department for particular for this particular department called administration test. So you can have several HODs right there. It's possible. And again, the HODs can also be able to assign functionality like assignments, e-library. The HOD can also complain, and some other features can be added for the HOD as per requirements. So I'm going to sign out there. There is one thing I want just to do, the last one. So if I go to mails here we can be able to send mails if you want to send to all users or to specific. So maybe I want to send to deepland.co.ke, I mean this email for that particular student that we have been doing, and then we can say test YouTube, we are testing, and then we're just going to paste a random text there. Then we're going to hit on send there. Okay, so I'm waiting for that message to be delivered to that particular email so that we can check here in the inbox. So you can see it's right there, we have received the email. So if I click on that, we can see that this particular email that was sent to us. So that's how you can deal with that. So basically that's it. It's a system which I've developed in PHP 8.1. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you have a question or anything that you'd like to talk to me, you can check my number there, and you can always email me. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate everything. Continue watching, and happy coding.